Hi, my name is Sheila Risotto-full-v2, and I am thrilled, Paula, to have the chance to cook for you. I have loved food since I was a little girl. I grew up in my grandmother's kitchen and in my great-grandmother's kitchen, running around and learning how to cook, and obviously my mom and I used to cook a lot, all the time. I am a country girl at heart. I cook with all fresh food, but I live in the big city, and luckily I've passed this tradition on to my daughter. So anyway, so today we are going to be cooking my springtime celebration risotto. And I eat risotto all year round. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite meals. And depending on what's seasonal and fresh, I incorporate that. And so my risotto is going to include fresh roasted asparagus. So let me tell you what we're going to be cooking with today. We're going to be using a little bit of butter, about 2 tablespoons of real butter, some extra virgin olive oil, and a little bit of salt. I actually don't cook with a lot because I use really fresh vegetables, and obviously with the risotto today, it's going to be slightly seasoned with the chicken broth that we're using, and then I cook with a lot of garlic and onions, but it's a very flavorful, very rich dish. And of course, the arborio rice. And arborio rice is specifically made for risotto because it cooks down and it keeps a nice firm grain, but it also adds a little creamy texture, but not enough though. We got that handled. So anyway, I think it's time to get started. Because risotto is a really elegant dish, I'm going to cut the onion fairly fine. And as usual, I chop too much. And that's okay because with onions, you can actually put them in the freezer in a plastic bag and just save them for later. And that way, actually, you know what? Hold on, you guys. I may have nailed it right on the head. That's pretty good. That is 1/2 cup exactly. I'm gonna add some garlic. Just a nice big fat clove. And like I said before, I put garlic and onions in everything. And also too, I actually cook like this every day. I come in from work with heels and my suit on or my dress, and I just start cooking. I've been a single mom for a very long time. My daughter is a foodie just like I am, and we cook fresh everything. So that means I'm at the grocery store every other day, and I've just kind of got my little ways. Okay, so we're going to go to the stove. So 2 tablespoons of butter. And a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Yeah. Okay, so now the butter and the olive oil is getting nice and foamy, and I'm going to go get the onions and the garlic. Okay. Now here's my favorite part because of the smell. And you want these just to sweat a little bit, maybe 2 minutes or so. And you also want to make sure that the heat's not coming in too high because you don't want to burn these, and they're going to be cooking for a while in the risotto. And especially too when you're adding the garlic, because it's fairly delicate and it can burn really easy. And if you ever burn your garlic, you got to start all over again. So that's that. And now I'm going to put in the cup of arborio rice, and I'm going to let that all cook for another 2 minutes or so. Now it's time to add the chicken broth. And what you want to do with the chicken broth with risotto is you want to add a little bit at a time. And generally batches of 3 is fine. So I'm going to add my first batch, and it's going to be just a third, okay, of what I have in here. You don't want to put too much in starting out. And then stir. And you just let that cook down and absorb. So okay, so it's time to add that nice little third. And really, I mean, you don't have to, I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be exact. And also, you don't have to watch it all the time. You can actually step off and do other things like get your asparagus taken care of. So we're gonna let that sit for a minute and get the asparagus in the oven. Okay, so, I am so excited. I can't believe I'm doing this. All right, so we are now at the asparagus stage, and this is pretty cool. And I'm gonna just cut off just about an inch, inch and a half of those tough stems. And this is really, really fresh stuff. With risotto, and you can make it as seasonal as you want by using whatever is what's available. All you do to roast your asparagus is you make sure it's all covered in olive oil, a little bit of salt. I've got the oven preheating to 500 and it's on broil. Just drizzle it over and a little bit of salt. Okay, so asparagus, again, tossed in a little bit of olive oil, remember, and some salt. Top rack, woo, of the oven, 500 degrees, and 10 minutes, that's it, and stir. Last batch. There we go. This is beautiful. I'm going to check on the asparagus for a second. Look at that. Okay. That's perfect asparagus. Oh, God. Okay. So that is the roasted asparagus. And it's like really perfect and wonderful. Now, if you see any chunks that look a little bit tough, go ahead. Like this one didn't want to cut, so I'm going to take it out because he's not ruining my party. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it is almost ready. The last 5 minutes of cooking the risotto, I add my secret weapon. And here it is. Here's my secret. It's Philadelphia cream cheese, but for my springtime kind of food, I actually kick it up a little bit with the garden vegetable spread because not only does it add that creaminess of Philadelphia cream cheese, but the flavor, and that's the thing that I think my friends can't pinpoint, is that extra garden piece. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to let that get nice and acquainted. And then, you guys, this is a perfect side dish. I'm just going to kick it up with a little bit of color. And voila. There you go. For the risotto with roasted asparagus, I usually serve this with salmon or with a filet mignon. But you can put any kind of vegetable that you like, you know, sauteing mushrooms, just plain garlic, but this is it, and Philadelphia cream cheese. So anyway, thanks you guys, and Paula, this is a tremendous opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kraft.